Welcome back to the Retention Edge podcast. I've got Isaac here from Country Life Natural Foods. Isaac, why don't you give everyone a quick intro on yourself, man?
Awesome. Thank you. My name is Isaac with Country Life Natural Foods. I'm the Director of Sales and Business Development. I started here last January, and since then, last year, we ended at 5.5 million, which is a 17% increase on sales. So already we've had nice growth, and this year we're projected to do about 17 to 20% more on top of that, ending around 6.2. So it's been fun. There's been a lot of different things that we've done here since I've been here, but it's just been putting things together, testing things, and seeing what will make things grow and what sticks.
So let's start out, back January last year. You enter the business. I'm sure it took you a few months to get your, feet under you, understand everything that the business was doing and everything like that. But what were some of the priorities that you had going in, and what were some of those first initiatives that you kind of started to undertake to, start growing the business that 15, 20%, whatever that
Yeah. So the first thing that I noticed was before even coming here, when I first talked to the CEO back in October, before that January, he asked me, well, he just asked for advice on how to grow the business. And so I just gave him all this advice on how to grow the business. And one thing he told me was he was spending like 30,000 on Google just alone. So when
Yeah.
I got here back in January, it was 100% true. They were spending 25 to 30,000 just on Google alone, meaning they weren't using there was no Facebook ads, there was no Pinterest, there was no spending anywhere, just Google. So I was like, why aren't we spending on Facebook? And they said, well, during COVID, how Facebook was doing the bans for certain things that could help you if you were sick. So
Yeah.
it's a health food store. And it wasn't like they were trying to go and say, hey, buy these products, they're going to help you get better. It's just the algorithm flag some of their products, flag the store, and block them. It's the store is still banned from running ads. So what I did was I was like, this is ridiculous. We're going to use Facebook. So I started running Facebook from my own agency account. It's like a parked agency. I don't really manage a lot of other businesses anymore, but I still have the Facebook account. So I'm like, let me just use this to run ads. And I started doing that, and they started working, at least when I thought it was working. We can get into what I've learned out about the pixel because I didn't even look into the site for that. But anyway, so I started running ads from my own personal account. Then eventually I was like, let me just make another Facebook page, that's more branded to the business. And
Yeah.
once I did that, then the conversion rate just shot up through the roof because it's like, yeah, the ad makes sense because it's coming from the brand versus like an agency running ads for the brand. So um, yeah, I started unlocking Facebook and then just experimenting on other advertising channels to go on. But initially it was that first unlocking Facebook and then also integrating because we use Shopify and I'm a high level, so my agency was like a high level agency. So I like to use high level for all my automations, and Shopify actually really integrates well with high level. Like it's a hack that I don't think many people know about. But yeah, so those are the first priorities that I got when I first got here.
That's interesting because a lot of brands are using like Klaviyo and stuff like that. What do you think are the advantages to go high level versus some of these other tools out there?
Yeah, so we do use Klaviyo as well. The thing
You're
is,
combining them, yeah.
correct. It's like a supplemental. So high level is really neat because it's like a toolbox you can use for different things what you need. So like if you need to make forms, smart forms that can do certain things to get data, you can make forms, you can make surveys. So I can use it to like interact with the customers, both integrating it, like putting an iframe on the website or just straight up emailing because it's another touch point. It's another channel that's like, okay, maybe they unsubscribed on Klaviyo, maybe they unsubscribed here. I can use high level like to get around some of the,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well,
So
man, makes
it's a neat tool, especially when it comes to automation. So like I have certain things that I've put on the website, like in so they didn't have any systems to do inbound for like businesses. Essentially, we have two types of customer types. We have regular retail customers that we do D2C, but we also have like wholesale businesses, brick and mortar bakeries that order from us too. And there was no process of like, how could a business go from being like, hey, we like your products, we want to be one of your customers. typically they'd like call sometimes and ask for that, but there's no system. So I'm like, well, let me make a system. I just made a page on the website, put it in the footer, and put a form that is a Go High Level form. So whenever someone does it, I get an email notifying me like, hey, here's a business trying to reach out. So then I can just call to confirm. That alone has brought in like hundreds of businesses that are now buying from us in bulk. You know, it's been one of the most valuable little hacks that I did, just to put in an inbound sales system.
And so that was when you kind of first stepped into the role, right? So
Yeah.
fixing the ads, specifically Facebook, B2B, which was another like kind of growth unlock for you guys. What about like this past year now, right? So now you guys were growing probably a lot from those Facebook ads because you weren't using that as a channel before. So a lot of that
Yes.
growth. And then the B2B side of things too, because those bulk orders, lots of revenue that can kind of come through it. Where's the new growth kind of coming from right now in the business, and what projects do you guys have underway right now to achieve that?
So it's interesting. There's a few channels that are working really well. Amazon has been a channel that unexpectedly for me has just we're on target to do like 1 million this year on Amazon alone. But this year specifically, so last year was like kind of unlocking things, getting a firm foundation, working with the website, getting the click rates better, and all there's a lot of things. This year we were able to make a membership program, which is kind of like Costco and Amazon if they could combine the two together. So we made it. It's called Country Life Plus. So yeah, it's not so people can still shop on the website without being a member, but it's like having Amazon Prime where you just get faster shipping. Well, Amazon Prime doesn't give you points that you can get for cash back. We do. So it has like more points. It's like better than Amazon Prime, if you ask me. But yeah, so I was trying to, like Alec Hormozy says, make an offer that's so good, people are gonna have a hard time saying no. So we rolled out that. And at the same time, we also rolled out a mobile app. And so we partnered with MobiLoud, and it was really, really great because the mobile app development side of things didn't actually have to like I didn't have to redo anything or have another code base. The software is really neat. I don't fully understand it, but it makes it makes our website into an app, and it works. And we found that now most of the members shop in the app. Like that's where they like to shop. And in the app, we're seeing far more sales velocity. So people are purchasing more frequently. The orders, so because the members don't have to hit $99, some of the orders are not like the AOV in there. I want to think is like 103. It's
Yeah,
lower versus when other channels is like 130 or email is like 180.
because they need to hit the shipping. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because they don't have to hit the free shipping. But the purchase rate, it's like where typical it says like 1.2 is the average customer's purchase per year. In there, it's like a 5.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like
Main difference. Yeah, exactly.
it's just completely different. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you guys are using Smile for the membership program, I think it was, or is that something different? I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. So it's Smile.io. It's if you actually understood how the membership program is held together, it's like with twigs, some some duct tape, prayers. But yeah, it's at the core, it's Shopify subscriptions. So at the core, it's Shopify subscriptions tied in with Smile, and then Shopify Flow for the automations that do certain things.
Yeah,
Um, but that's it's pretty rustic if you would look at how it's actually put together, but it works and it delivers value. I mean, we've already generated $40,000 in just subscription revenue. That's not even them buying products. And so, it's been a great avenue. And then it's like the membership and the app kind of came out at the same time. And
yeah,
so I feel like it aligns in a type of way. I mean, the membership, you don't have to have the app to be a member, but it just so happens that all the members are shopping in the app. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the natural fit for them because clearly, if they're gonna become a member with you guys, they wanna order for you guys at least somewhat fairly regularly because, you guys sell stuff that they could use every week or every day or, whatever that the case may be, right? Um,
And it's the other thing too that I see that's really neat is they're buying for their family members. Like we have one lady that she loves to, she feeds her kids, her nieces and nephews. Like she's ordering food. It'll be like 3 times a day. And I'm like, what?
how many
Yeah.
family members does she have? Jesus.
Yeah. It's a big Asian family. Let's just say that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so it's funny because it sounds like you almost told like two different stories there because you stepped in and you're like new customer acquisition slash kind of growing revenue from new customers, whether it's businesses, whether it's Facebook ads, whatever. And then, you got the new customer acquisition under control. And then you were like, okay, membership, mobile app, loyalty, all these different things that you kind of put together kind of after you focus on the customer acquisition side of things. So like what was the logic, reasoning, need behind kind of jumping into focusing on the loyalty retention side of the business versus just continuing to focus on, new customer acquisition?
Yeah, no, I appreciate your what you said. And I think holistically about growth. I don't just think, oh, hey, let's just get this one type of, I mean, just first of all, when I first got here, like I said, there was only really two customer types. There was
Mhm.
just like retail customers and wholesale customers. So they
Yeah.
were kind of just divided in two. Now we have retail members and wholesale customers. So there's like three different customer types now. And one of the biggest challenges that I saw with the business was they're sometimes really good at getting customers, but make that first purchase. I mean, there's still a lot of emails that haven't made a first purchase, but they got a lot of customers to make the first purchase, but they're lacking on getting them to make that second purchase.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing I wanted to fix was how to get that second purchase. And then what I also saw was once they made from their third to fourth purchase, they were like in for life. Once they made the fourth purchase, it became a habit and they were just going to continue because it's just food. Food goes, well, you're going to buy more food. Um, but then specifically, because I want to grow that side of the business, but customers that may spend, at best $2,000 a year with us, a business will spend $2,000 every order, right? And so and they're just buying it to either resell it or to bake it or do certain things. So I knew that I had to focus on both helping with getting new customers at the retail side of things, also how to make it first off, you can't just advertise. I have been running some ads and it's working. It's not, it's about, I think, $25. When you look at it to get a submission right now on
Okay.
Facebook with the ad campaign that we're doing. But generally speaking, you can't really run ads to get B2B. It's much harder. It's far more expensive. Um, and so that's why I wanted to have an inbound system so that I could have them coming to me with their desire, hey, I want to join you. So um, yeah, just finding ways that I can grow that in a sustainable way that doesn't cost too much time and energy, because that's what it does. It's like I have to go into databases sometimes and scrape emails, and then I've done that. So last year I was doing a bunch of that, sending out cold email campaigns and trying these things and realizing it's better to just literally I'll just call them. I'll just so high level again. I use high level for my CRM and my sales development work, because I've even used, like I said, I've used Hilo for so many different things in the past. But yeah, I just use it to keep track of my leads, and I can call directly from there and text from there, and keep track of emails from there. So yeah, I'm just like, or sometimes people will even order from us on Amazon, and then converting that Amazon business into an order that orders directly from us, because it's like they're spending 105 or $120 on this product where they can order directly and spend 90, or
Yeah.
80. So I know that I'm saying no, they're not going to be like, oh no, I'd rather spend more money. Like it's usually pretty easy to get them to convert into but it takes me doing the human action. Like AI is not going to do that. At least I don't.
Not yet, at least, not anytime soon, probably, but it's
Yeah.
coming.
Because
Yeah,
it's
so it sounds
nuanced.
like
You have to like know what they ordered, know why they would be a good fit, know what to say to get them to try to like, invite and that. Yeah. So, but it works.
And it helps from a margins perspective for you guys too, right? Because 'Cause you're not paying the
Yeah.
Amazon fees or whatever else that you'd be
So,
dealing with.
and then to answer the second half of that question, so it's like, okay, now we have them in the system. How do we get them to be engaged and to come back and to feel rewarded? So I've been doing, I'm on YouTube University. I've got like a couple PhDs from there, and listening to podcasts and various other podcasts that talk about growth and just trying to do what those guys do. And so really trying to find ways to get customers to make another purchase, and also like with the rewards points with using Smile, it helps people to now they can see and that they're tracking their points that they get with Smile and able to add other rewards. So like in the mobile app, for every order that they make in the app, they actually get an extra 100 points. So it's like it's an extra reward that's app only specific. So shopping in app is actually more rewarding than shopping on the website or shopping on the mobile site. And maybe
Yeah.
that's something I need to say on the banner because I'm trying to reword the banner. Like if you're on the mobile, shop in the app. Like say, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I've just tried doing various things that would make it more engaging for them, and also to equip them so they can share it with their friends because word of mouth is the best referral that we can get. Influencers are fine, but I have a Triple Whale. Triple Whale has like the only free thing that Triple Whale gives you is a post purchase survey, and so I have their post purchase survey on the page, and by far, word of mouth is like the number one way that new
Yeah, so
customers,
they
that
buy
people,
something from you, and then they tell
yeah,
their friends about it, or, they
yeah,
cook something for their friends or whatever it is, and they ask
yeah,
if got it, and they hand them over to you, and then they start buying from you too, right?
yeah. And even just saying that out loud, like makes me think about what can I do to increase the word of mouth, like them talking about us and sharing about us, like at meals and stuff. So that's actually, I can't wait to watch this back.
You're just like, "Oh, I'm providing myself my own ideas on what
No,
to
I
do."
mean, hey, because that's where they come from. I mean, that's at the end of the day. I don't know if I'm a marketing guy, a sales guy, an idea guy. Like I've been called various different things, but you have to try things and experiment. You have to come up with ideas, come make a plan, execute on the plan, look at the results, and then decide, hey, is this worth doing it again or not?
Speaking as a sales guy, you sound very much like a sales guy, so just like everything you're saying, like you're calling people, you're emailing them, you're trying to think, okay, like what, you're just looking at all these like micro level. You're not looking at just the big picture. You're looking at like a per customer kind of approach, which is kind of interesting. Like you're treating every customer like their own unique person instead of looking at it from like a high level. Not that you don't, but like you're not standing far away going, okay, like I just want to see what happens at a general level. You're looking at these each individual customers and the one lady buys for her nieces and nephews and her and sisters and whoever else that she's buying from. And that's not a thing marketing people typically know. It's typically the salesperson that knows that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Um so you mentioned that you added, extra loyalty points and stuff like that for app users. What was the logic? What was the thought process behind doing that kind of in the first place?
Yeah. So again, the app has been a really cool acquisition channel. Like if you want to say like how much it costs to get a new customer to make a purchase, it's like between $15 to $25 on if you use ads, right? What we've found is for app activations, because not just the app install, I could get app installs down to like 70 cents, 80 cents on yeah, I
Yeah.
know. uh, yeah, I mean, on average, it's like $1 or so for Apple. I had one campaign that was like around $2 for iPhone,
Hmm.
but then for the app activation, which is them actually going in the app and moving around, it was like $1.50, $2, something like that on average. So like that's the cheapest new customer acquisition channel ever. You
Yeah.
know,
Jesus.
it's by far the most affordable way to engage with someone who's never heard of the brand. And the way that I was doing it on some of the campaigns using catalog ads, so they would like see the nuts or see like the dried fruit that they wanted. They click on that and then boom, goes to the app store.
Hmm.
So yeah, the thought was how can I make it more rewarding? So like for your first in-app purchase, I'm using push notifications once they download the app that says, first I get do a little bit of education before I just hit them with a discount. But then I'm like, hey, your first in-app purchase, use code app10 and you actually get 10% off, which some of these guys are so smart. I actually had to go ahead and change the code because they were all targeting our kitchenware products, which are like through collective. Essentially they're drop shipped. So like we have pretty much no margins on that. So they were like going after the $500, $600 product. I was like, oh, these guys are so smart. So I had to also navigate that discount code a little bit, but yeah, just trying to make it inviting for someone to make their first purchase and to do it in the app, you know? Yeah,
Insane. So you're basically, if you're running a Facebook ad to the website to acquire a customer, you're gonna spend 15, $20. If you're gonna run an ad to the app store to download your app and then make that first purchase, you're gonna spend $2, essentially.
correct. 2 $3.
80% discount, essentially.
It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. And so are you trying to scale that now, or are you limited some
Yes.
because there's not as much volume as you can run on Google or Facebook or anything?
So that's been the fun part is justifying the scale. So we've been like, let's say going on a fine tooth comb, but just making sure that the data is reporting accurately from what analytics is saying,
Mhm.
is happening in the mobile app or happening in the site, and then what Shopify is saying. And so far it's fairly close. There's a teeny bit, but I think with every analytics or every reporting tool, there's always like a little bit.
Yeah,
And
there's always a
especially
scale.
with the
Mhm.
way that Google works, there's a lag in the data. So it doesn't just report right away. And so, yeah, so that's where I've been working with like, um, yeah, I mean, so far it's paying for itself by any means. We're not losing money acquiring new customers, and there's also a little bit of a delay to activate an app download. Like someone who downloads the app, they might shop in the app or look around for a little bit. They might not just make their first purchase right away. It might take them a little while, or for them to realize,
Well,
hey, I get
tracking
paid.
gets yeah. The tracking
Yeah,
gets
so
difficult then because 'cause you're not sure, like, what yeah. Yeah.
correct. So you're seeing more app downloads, but it's like, is it turning into customers? It's like, well, there's also a lag time from the actually to download the app to then make the purchase.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's just, but then, yeah, either way, but yes, because I just look at it, especially on Facebook. That's the one thing that has been a, a new way for me to advertise on Facebook that I could not to say justify in because we know we're not losing. It's like when we're doing Facebook ads to get conversions or get purchases, whether we get one or not, Facebook is still going to take the money. Apart from, yeah, but if we're targeting for app installs or targeting for app activations, um, Facebook only gets paid on that actual install,
Yeah,
on that
once they
activation.
install the app, yeah.
Correct. So it was like much cheaper to do per install. I felt like it's bringing us a better, a higher, especially for the iPhones, um, a more higher quality.
More affluent customers typically.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, but
Yeah.
which we find. I mean, the data like in Postpilot tells us, our customers are pretty well off for the most part. So
I mean, if they're gonna be, like, focusing on natural foods and all these different types of
and
things.
they're an older demographic, generally speaking, so they're already settled into their jobs or careers or whatever they do to, take care of themselves. But yeah, it's awesome. It's interesting looking at the numbers and like you said, getting kind of closer to the data, to realizing that it's not just data or numbers. It is individual families and people who have homes and cousins and nephews and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
And, so you're sending app installs, and there's something interesting about the app installs too, the strategy around it because, not every single person's gonna keep the app, they might download it and find they're not you don't have what they're looking for, whatever the a million, potential issues could be. But do you find that the odds are that those people that you're driving to app installs are going to stick around longer? Again, this is a newer thing for you, so you don't have like this giant data set to work on.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
what I can say is, like for instance, we have this. I'm giving a free month trial to the membership program,
Hmm.
and essentially what that would be is, the membership would cost $14.95 a month, right? And you get free express fulfillment, which that alone costs $25 for that service. So if you were smart, you would say, okay, that costs $25. I could pay $14.95 and get that free for a whole month, or I could just take this free offer and get that $25 service free on this order and do it. So we're seeing a lot of people who are smart take the offer and realize they're getting a really great perk, and so the churn rate for that is high, and I think that's just how it is when things are free. I bet if I made it $1 instead
Yeah.
of free,
Drastically change things. Yeah.
it probably would. Now that we say that out loud, I'm just again thinking while I'm talking. Um, because yeah, people just they're like, oh, it's free, do it, and so the rollover rate is high. However, they're still. I mean, if they did it in the app is still on their phone. So
Exactly.
my hope, is through our push notifications. I actually went through and made like a 45-day push open, like
Oh, yeah.
a welcome flow for push, where it's like, if they don't make a purchase, then it's like 7 more days later, send another one. They don't make a purchase 14 days later, send another one. They don't make, okay, 21 days. Yeah, so I've got like a long welcome flow that hopefully will get and activate people, because I was like, okay, how do I? Because I've seen some of these like email campaigns where it's like you opt into the email newsletter or whatever it is, and you don't purchase, you don't buy, but then like for the rest of your life they're emailing you. It's like I got to do that for Country Life.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do it for push notifications too until they either delete the app because they don't want anything or they buy, they love you guys, and then they continue to buy.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. And the great thing is about push notifications too. It's kind of like it's easy to swipe away and just forget about it. Whereas like in your email, it kind of just lives there and it's kind of just
Correct.
taking up space. And I'm trying to sort through 10,000 emails to figure out what ones I actually need to pay attention to and what I don't.
Yeah. And I mean, if anyone's had Temu or Amazon installed on their apps, they know what it's like to get push notifications blasted. I mean, they do 2 an hour, it feels like.
Yeah, Temu is insanely aggressive. Amazon less so, but like, yeah,
They've gotten better. Yeah. Amazon's gotten better.
yeah, but Shein is insane. Like, like if you download that app, you're gonna get like 15 notifications in your first like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
And then God forbid you click on a product or two
Yes.
products, you're gonna get notifications for those endlessly. And then they're gonna tell you, oh, it'll be, you're gonna get it 50% off if you buy one other thing with it. And then there's gonna be a countdown
Correct.
clock, and then there's gonna be a spin the wheel, and then there's gonna
That's right.
of shopping basically or something crazy like that. But clearly they look at their data and they go, it works extremely well, so keep going at
Them,
it.
right.
Right?
And
And
they
they
know
don't
their
care if a couple
demographic.
people delete it.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, so I guess so now what are the focuses for this year? So we talked about your first year, you were focused on new customer acquisition, second year, or somewhat into your second year, retention, app, membership, everything like that. What are the new focuses? What are you focusing on now?
Yeah, just highly optimizing everything, really. Our goal for the first year was to try to get 1,000 members, and we're about a third of the way there. And
Okay.
so there's still 2/3 more of the way to go, but only 1/3 of the year left. So it's like
Yeah.
time is against us to try to hit the mark. I'm pretty confident we'll probably get to 500 members by the end of the year. Um, or at least in the 400s, getting close. The first 200 was pretty easy to get. It was just our top customer base. Like we just told them we had it, and they're like, "Yep, we're doing it." But since then, we've shown the value. So over 500 people have joined, but
Mhm.
only 300 and a half have stayed.
Yeah.
Right,
Which
and
is
so
still a really
it's
good retention rate if you think about it, right? Like that's
yeah,
pe
it's not horrible. It's
yeah,
not bad. It's not bad. But I mean, it's Alex Hormozy level good offer, bro. It's like they're getting express fulfillment. They're getting rewards points. They're getting free shipping. They don't have to hit $100. Like, we are working harder. Our work has changed because of this program. Not in a bad way. It's
Yeah.
actually made our shipping team have to like, step up and like
Yeah.
really
Be
like
honest.
show up. Yeah, because and my thing was Amazon orders were getting pushed to the front of the line. And it's like, why can't our own customers get their orders pushed to the front of the line?
Yeah.
So, I just gave them an opportunity. And first, the way that it even came about was pretty, like, I can't even take credit for it. I give God credit. I tried the express fulfillment first. So I put that $25 fee first and then validated it. People started paying it to get their product shipped faster, to cut the line.
Hmm.
So once I could see that people were willing to pay the $25 to get there, and people still do, people still pay that. Um, I was like, okay, well, let's just offer, because I mean, what is it? Not to say what is it for us. Yes, we have to then get that product and then stop whatever we're doing in a sense and like put that one next. So it does kind of interrupt the flow of first in, first out, but it doesn't really, cost us that much extra, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a way that we can really deliver more value. Um, yeah, that just gives it an extra touch and makes that customer feel like they're special, because that's really what matters, is how you make the customers feel.
And no business has ever regretted doubling down on their loyal customers, right? Like it
No,
doesn't,
yeah,
it's never going to hurt you because you're, helping out your customers too much or providing them too much value to an extent. Obviously, if you just give them free products forever, it's going to be a problem. But as long as you're,
yeah,
reasonably providing them good value, why wouldn't you not just continue to double down on that and do more and more and more for them? Because, like you said, they're gonna spread word of mouth, they're gonna post you on social media, they're gonna buy
correct.
more and more for you, they're gonna buy for their sisters and brothers and nieces and nephews, they're gonna, do all the sorts of stuff that actually helps you, like, grow and scale the business outside of just getting one purchase at a time, right?
Yeah, whenever I go on Facebook ads, you can see people will be like, "I love country life." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a member." They'll literally comment on the ads like, "I love this business." It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. I guess, going back to, like, the loyalty program and stuff like that, have you ever thought about expanding it outside of just the membership? Like, like, obviously Smile at its base form is supposed to be, or at least usually, just like a loyalty program for everyone, right? Like everyone gets loyalty points and all that sorts of stuff.
Correct.
But then what you've done is kind of like tailored in, okay, no, I actually want to minimize the amount of people on this and then have it really for our most loyal customers, not just everyone, and then give them all these extra benefits, like you said, free express delivery,
Correct.
free shipping, all that sorts of stuff. Have you guys talked about expanding the loyalty program, and what's the logic behind kind of keeping it more niche versus trying to expand it outwards?
Yeah, if I could show you the graph of what it looks like when I started it back in October to when I made it only for members in
Mhm.
March, because really it was supposed to be only for members in January, right?
Yeah.
So I had a countdown, or not to say a countdown, but in January, well, I did tell them, hey, by January, you need to get your points because it's going to be for members only. So by October to January, there was like this madhouse of people like growing points and using the points and so forth. But in January, I like just shut it off. And then there's a lot of people who had points still that didn't get to use it. So then I said, fine, since a lot of people didn't get to use their points, I'll let everyone get access to it till March. The graph is like, it's so because by March it does start simmering down, but that's why I was telling you back in January, February, March earlier this year, the sales were just through the roof. And I think it was because people were trying to empty their rewards points.
Yeah.
The way that Smile software works, we're at like, I think they're middle tier paying for it, or maybe it's even the low tier paying for it. All I know is that once you get to their max tier, then you can really make a custom program that can do whatever you want to do. Through, because I'm a little bit of a developer, and through Smile, MobiLoud, you guys, some developers as well, have been able to do some things because Smile actually gave me access to their API, which is only allowed for their top tier program. So I actually got it. Yeah. Like, even the fact that we're allowed to do this is something that they've granted us like special permission to do. Like Smile has been awesome. But in order for me to really use their software and to have like two sets, because that would essentially be two programs. It'd be like a public program and a private or a member program. I'd have to go to that next year, which, once we get to 1,000 members, we probably could afford it at that point. But it's just because we're a food business. Every dollar that we're spending on software or ads or anything that is, or I should say just ads, but anything we're spending that's not directly, how do I put it? It's just hard because of our margins being so slow. Our
Yeah,
margins are so,
the food margins are like 10% and 20% and all that. It's like thin margins that you have to work with compared to if you're selling like makeup and you get like 60-70% margin.
correct. Yeah, that's the thing. Like jewelry and makeup and all the other stuff. Like they have the margins to play with to where they can, but again, we just have healthy, natural foods that people are searching for peanuts, or they're searching for walnuts, they're searching for almonds, dates, cashews. We want to be price competitive and attractive, to say, hey, you should get ours. Plus, the one thing that's unique with us is just our collection being 100% non-GMO, and we have a lot of organic options. You just know that you don't have to, like, not to say you don't have to read the labels if people have allergies or whatever, but our customers that's having to go to the grocery store and like read all the labels on everything. Right?
Yeah, and then try to
That's just
figure
the
it
tech.
out. Then half
Yeah,
doesn't even have labels, right? Because it's like,
yeah,
you go and
it's
look at the
nuts.
food or whatever, there's nothing
Yeah, it's
there.
like
Yeah.
what it says on the
What is
bag is
nuts?
what
It's
is in
nuts.
the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and you don't know if it's organic or actually, usually they'll put if it's organic or not, I feel, but, like,
For the
you don't.
most part, if they've gone through the process of paying for that for paying for that certification, they're gonna let everybody know.
Yeah. But then there's also like I think in the food space, right? There's like different levels to what like or real organic is, right? Because there's like organic and then there's like organic like not grown right beside a field that isn't organic and stuff like that. Like there are a
Correct.
couple
Yeah. What's
different
great is, yeah,
situations.
there's like certain parts per million that they allow for certain things. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I'm happy I just get to sell the food. Don't have to go into the science.
Yeah, you don't have to worry worry about that side of things. Uh cool. Look, I mean, I think we've covered everything. I've taken up enough of your time. We've gone for like 40 minutes now or something. I guess you are very active on LinkedIn. Always post. You have like I want to say it's like a blog or something where you post like the growth hacks that you're using and all this different sorts of stuff, right? I've read a couple of those. Like, where should people find you if they want to, follow along with all the weird, crazy stuff that that you're
Yeah.
trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is definitely the best channel, I would say. I'm on Twitter as well, or X, but LinkedIn is definitely and it's funny you mentioned that. What happened was I just got so tired of Facebook. Um, if I'm as a person who works in growth, if I felt to myself, if I can't grow my own personal social media channels, my own personal things, how can I go to a brand or a business and say, hey, let me help you grow yours? And so that's one of the reasons why I've been trying to. Twitter is more difficult than LinkedIn, but on Twitter, what I'm realizing is, well, it's just developers. People who are following me are now more developers,
Yeah.
because, like you said, I'm sharing. Like one of the hacks I shared on LinkedIn went viral. So I pretty much told everyone how they can speed up their website using Cursor, and
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, it's literally something that I've done here for our business, and it's something that you just have to think outside the box. All you have to do is download the Web Vitals test in JSON and just feed that into Cursor, and it goes, "Oh, let me just fix your website." So it's like, but people love those little hacks, and especially developers, because you can go out and charge money for that. So yeah, I feel like some of the
Everyone's
stuff I
gonna go
learned.
need services with their businesses all of a sudden. Easy little hack. charge a brand a couple $1,000s or something for something that takes them like 30 minutes of work.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, and speed. I've thought about that. I should go into this website speed is. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that offer speeding up websites, but you know. But anyway, yeah, no, I appreciate the conversation. And like I said, it was great meeting you. I remember the first time we met back in like App Store research.
Yeah.
Um,
Back in what was that? That was a how long ago was that now? Was that almost a year ago? Like,
Almost, yeah. I had to be getting close to a year ago because we had started talking about getting the mobile app together around, I think, close to October-ish, and
yeah,
then
that feels right.
we
Yeah.
wanted to finish it by January, and so that
Mhm.
was how. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So wow, that's amazing. It has been some time.
Yeah, it has been almost a year. Almost a year. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Look, like I said, really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for doing this, man. Take care.
All right. Talk to you later.